Hey, did you miss me? Huh? Okay, we back. We are so back. Been around the world a few laps since the last time we spoke. My bad for that, but okay, we back. We are so back. I took a little time for me. Okay, now it's time to eat. Look.
What is up, good people? Really quick disclaimer before we get into the rest of the show. I just wanted to let you know that this particular episode was recorded in August of 2025. I'm releasing it in March of 2026 for any number of reasons that I'm not about to sit here and name. Now, the message itself is 1000% still relevant. However, there is some context to the conversation that applies to some months ago. So just be aware that this is a previously recorded episode that I'm just letting it fly now. And it is what it is. But I figure I'd let you know up front so you're not confused as you listen to it. Um, but all right, I ain't gonna drag it out. Just wanted to let you know up front, this is a previously recorded episode, but I appreciate you taking the time to join me. Feel free to sit back and listen and let me know what you think. I'll at y'all. What is up, good people? Welcome to Excellence Personified with Elijah L. Harris. I am him, Mr. Elijah L. Harris himself. I'm back. We back. Had to come in with a little bounce to it. You feel what I'm saying? Thank you for taking the time to join me. I know it's been a minute. It's been a while. We got to catch up, but I absolutely appreciate it. Each and every one of you, each and every time. That has not changed. I'm very grateful for this platform, grateful that you took the time to join me. We got some catching up to do, some things to talk about, some energy to reinvigorate my life and yours, and we're going to do that. I'm excited to have this mic in my hand. I'm the type of person where I can sit and I can think about what I want to do, what I need to do for a long time, probably too long before I actually do it. So I've been sitting and thinking about this moment for a while, but I had to get back to it. Had a lot of ideas in this time that I've been away, things that I want to do, people I want to talk to. Already talked to some of them already. But we're going to get to all of that. But first and foremost, as I do come back to the show, I want to come back, just me and you, and just talk about where I've been, what's going on, how I'm doing, things like that. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. First things first, actually, you know what? This time I'm going to kind of omit, we're going to do things a little differently. Typically, obviously, I do my mental health check-in. We're going to do that basically throughout this show. This is definitely going to be a mental heavy show, but it'll be a good one. Elephant in the room. Let's address it. Let's take it head on. I've been away for some months, right? It is August. It's early August now as I record. And I last released something, I don't know, springtime? Darn near over. Feels like at least, but it's been some months, right? And so, where you been? What's popping? What's going on? I got a baby. I got a new baby, right? So this summer, this spring has been active in a different way for me. So I had to take some time, I had to step back. But what it's done, obviously, for me personally, is just to ground me, right? Like I needed to put my time, my energy to reorganizing my life, really, to having two children instead of just one, and just reallocating my energy and all that goes along with that. Preparing, for 9+ months beforehand, and obviously just, welcoming my baby girl number 2, to my life, and just being able to get to know her and lean in and be all that I can be as humanly possible. And she's a cutie. And I had no doubt, that she was going to be adorable. She was going to pop out and steal my heart just like Savannah did. And that happened. I fully admit that. But what y'all didn't tell me, I don't know if anybody could have prepared me to have 2 children instead of 1. But two children, like multiple children, it's just different. Like, I don't think anybody really could have prepared me for what it's like to have two little kids running around looking at you talking about daddy. It's just different. I to, to even just be able to allocate your energy, let alone your time between two children, right? Let alone your partner and your family and your friends and anybody else that you have in your life, but just the two children. Let's just talk about that, right? And obviously when you have a newborn, they require more of your hands-on attention. Like Savannah, she's used to having hands-on attention all the time. Everything is about Savannah, right? And part of that is, part of that is my fault in making her think that everything's about her. But like as far as she can see and understand, everything's about Savannah. And if it's not, then it's a problem. And Savannah's going to insert herself until you realize that everything is about Savannah. So we're trying to break her down a little bit. But I also told her, I was like, look, things are going to be different. I also told her I went through the same thing when my sister came along. The age gap is almost identical, 6.5 years, roughly. So I told her, I was like, look, it's gonna be a little sticky, right? But I want you to understand that while we're putting a lot of time and energy and attention to the baby, and that's what everybody wants to ask and talk about and come and visit and see and all that stuff, understand that the love we have for you does not go away, right? We might be reallocating our time and our efforts and our energy between the two of you, and we're all getting used to that. It's not even just you. I'm trying to figure that out myself, right? Just understand that we still love you the same way. And we just trying to figure this thing out. Not to mention that we're going through all of this just as the school year is ending. When the baby was first born, Savannah had something to do. She was still in school, but school was almost over. So now that school ended and we've been going through the summer, it's been a little different, right? Because she's been at home more and she's been in the house watching us dedicate all this time and attention to the baby and not necessarily to her. And so it's been a journey and just reorganizing ourselves and how we live. But we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. Savannah was a little disappointed when the baby popped out and she wasn't up walking and talking and playing. She was like, the baby don't play with no toys. This baby is boring. Yeah. All y'all do is hold her and feed her all day. She sleeps, she poops, she don't do nothing. Yeah, Savannah was disappointed. But we figuring it out. We figuring it out. Um, and I can only imagine what the next phase will be like as the baby starts to crawl and eventually walk and talk. And then we got two walking and talking kids, and it's just I don't know. But yeah, no, I was not ready. Y'all did not prepare me accordingly, and I don't appreciate that. But anyway, so yeah, so what that has gotten me to do personally, right? Because and I've talked about it on this show previously. I dedicate myself and my life to being a dad and putting all that I can put forward to be the best dad that I possibly can be. Um, but what this experience is doing is really testing me because when Savannah was first born, it was balls to the wall, like all day, every day, I'm gonna be the best dad I can be. And I started to understand and realize like you will burn yourself out trying to do that if you center your life around a child. And now that I have two, you can't center your life around both of them in the same way that you might have tried to do with one, right? And so I've had to really check myself and be like, okay, you might want to be all that you can be for them, but how are you being what you need to be for you? And are you filling your own cup up? Are you putting yourself around the right people that's going to help you fill your cup up when you're empty, right? And the answer to those questions is not always yes. It's really not. I'd be struggling, like just trying to take the pieces back together to be whole. Um, But it really challenges you because at the end of the day, the why that you had when you first, I'm saying you, the why that I had when I first stepped into fatherhood has not changed. My why was that I wanted to create an environment that looked different than what I grew up with. Now I can look back and there are a lot of similarities to what I grew up with, even currently. Some stark differences though, and I'm proud of those differences, right? However, um, there's some room I have to grow for sure in terms of taking care of myself and being there and being whole for my girls. Um, and having two now forces you to see these things, right? And as I thought about, coming back to this show, like, okay, you need to organize yourself or you need to prepare yourself to be able to be all that you are called to be. That requires you getting up and working out. That requires you eating properly. That requires you taking the time to breathe and to pray and to do the things that make you whole. Okay. Because I care about this space and this opportunity that I have with this show, my platform, my voice, and all that stuff, all those things that I was born and gifted with. If I don't use those tools and opportunities for something great, then that's a huge disservice to myself and to others. And that's a problem. And so when I look at myself as a father, I feel the same way. I was gifted with a lot of tools to be able to meet these young girls, connect with them, learn them, grow with them. I have the opportunity to do all these things. But if I take a step back and I don't put myself in position to grow and learn and be all that I can be, then I'm doing them a disservice. And I have nobody to look at in these situations other than myself. Like, come on, E, what you doing? How you showing up? Right? And they gonna look at you and be like, Daddy, what you doing? How you showing up? Real talk, true story. I'm recording this episode at 1 a.m. because that's when I got time. But earlier tonight at dinner, and this isn't the first time Savannah's checked me on this. Savannah was like, Daddy, you don't really say a lot about how you feel. Like she was like, a lot of times I will tell you how I'm feeling, even when I'm upset, I'll be angry. Like I tell you. You don't really tell me how you be feeling. And I was like, you know what, Savannah, I don't. I sure don't. You are absolutely right. Um, I can try to do better about that. And she was like, Daddy, how do you feel? How do you feel now? And I told her, I was like, I don't really know. I don't know. I'm laughing, but I don't really know. Um, and she was like, well, can you describe it to me? Like, I'll help you. This is a 6-year-old. Okay. Savannah be off the chain, bouncing off the walls all the time. But when she takes a second to actually calm down and think and feel, she's a really, really good kid. So she was like, look, Daddy, I'll help you. Tell me what you're thinking, how you're feeling. And I was like, Savannah, um, I this is what I said. I said, I feel kind of blah. And she was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I just feel like blah. I'm not really sad. I'm not really happy. I'm just blah. And she was like, she was like, okay, sometimes I feel grumpy. She was like, maybe you feel grumpy. I feel grumpy sometimes. Like, I don't really want to laugh and joke or have fun, but I'm not like angry, but I'm not really happy. I'm just kind of grumpy. And I was like, huh, maybe that's what I am. Maybe I'm a little grumpy. But I'm telling you this story because your children are reflections of you. They are looking at you just like you're looking at them. So give them something worthwhile looking at. Give them something worthwhile looking at, worthwhile seeing, worthwhile hopefully emulating when they look at you. These are the types of things I'm trying to tell myself. When I show up and want to speak excellence, give them something to look at. Half of inspiration is the voice, but also inspiring somebody through what you do, inspired through action, inspired through example, inspired through testimony. If you don't do nothing, you ain't gonna have nothing. You won't have nothing to talk about. You won't have anybody to inspire. Because what are you doing, right? So I said this show is going to be highly mental. I had to start to think about some of these things and really check myself and be like, all right, E, you got 2 now. What you doing? How you showing up? All right. And we can be motivated by any number of things, right? Something that's your why you choose to do something or why you put yourself in position to do something. But taking those action steps and being disciplined in that's what will carry you to the finish line, right? If I relate this to track, I used to run the 400 hurdles. You could be motivated at the start line. Yeah, I'm motivated to run this, 52 or whatever the number is. But you can be motivated through the first 100, maybe even the first 200. But when you hit that curve, you better kick in some discipline. You better open your stride and pull your trail leg through and be disciplined in that. Or all that motivation that you had at the start line ain't gonna mean nothing when you don't pull your trail leg through. You clip the hurdle and you go down, right? You better be disciplined to get up at 2, 3, 4 in the morning and feed your daughter, right? I'm not a night person at all. I don't like getting up in the middle of the night. I can't stay up at night. It's not my thing. But when you do it over and over and over again, your body might just get used to it. You build that discipline, you build that muscle. I can do this, right? You want to build a podcast? You want to have a show? All right, you could be motivated right now. Okay, we back. What is this looking like 2 months from now? When it's not summer no more. It's not warm outside, It's not easy to go outside in the morning and work out because it's warm. It starts to get a little chilly in the morning. Where you at? What you doing? That's just the mindset. The mindset that comes along with that. The mindset of discipline. The mindset of being true and staying true to who you are and what you want to accomplish. That goes back to discipline. Discipline is what defines who you are and who you choose to show up as. Because people don't see what motivates you. People see the actions that you put forth and the discipline that you show in those actions. People don't see what motivates you, right? You might have had someone pass away years ago. It's like, I'm going to do this for my dad. I'm going to do this for my mom. People don't know that. You could say that and have no discipline and no action. And people just be like, oh, okay, well, he ain't got no discipline, he ain't got no action. It don't mean nothing. Does it mean something to you? Does it mean something to you? Are you going to be disciplined in what you want to accomplish? No? Okay, then what are we talking about? Because the motivation is going to run out after 200 meters when you got 200 left, right? So kick in that discipline, that next gear, right? Why? Because that's what builds trust. Discipline builds trust. Trust with other people, trust with yourself. If you're not disciplined in what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, ain't nobody gonna believe in you because you don't believe in you. Show me that you believe in you by putting forth the actions that match the motivation, that match who you want to be, who you see yourself as. If you're not disciplined, that probably means that you don't think that you're worthy of the success that you might have when you finish that 400. When you get to the end, when you reach that goal, you got to believe that that's for you. Because you can get there and still feel incompetent, still feel like, I'm not worthy of this. Have that imposter syndrome. Cross the finish line, be like, oh, you giving the medal to me? Come on, man. You wanted it at the beginning, right? Don't act funny when they give it to you. Don't act funny when you actually succeed. And if you choose to show up with discipline, it won't be funny. You're going to know exactly what you did to get there. And there won't be any mistake in that. You go from the person that wants to do or accomplish something to the person that is what they said they were going to do, or the person that is who they said they were. That discipline creates identity. You go from the person that wants to do or be something to the person that is. And just like discipline can create a positive outlook of a person, it can also create a negative outlook of a person. You want to be disciplined and being late and eating like trash? Okay. Your body will reflect that. Other people will see that. And that'll be your identity. He's chronically late, eat like trash. I don't really want to be around them because that's what you're disciplined in doing. Don't bring that over here. At the end of the day, what motivates you, your why you want to do or accomplish something, that is simply the ignition. It starts the car, right? I want to talk about excellence here. Ignite your excellence. Okay. What motivates you to start? I focus on that because starting is one of the hardest things to do. I told you at the beginning of this show, it took me a long time to actually sit down, open this computer, and pick up my microphone. But eventually, I had to start. I had to restart that ignition, ignite your excellence, right? But the next step to that is being able to fuel that. How do you store, how do you harbor, how do you build that discipline of excellence to be able to continue through it when it does get hard? Eventually, in the middle of that, you do have to rebound at some point because something's going to go wrong. Something's going to get tossed in the middle of the road. You won't have to detour. But how do you build that discipline to get back on track and stay on track? And once you do that, you get to a place where you can share your excellence, right? Like, yeah, I was disciplined. I did that. This is how I did it. And this is what it looked like. And this is how I can help you be excellent in the same way or be excellent in the ways that you want to be. Imagine if we all get to a place where we find the motivation that's inside of us to do whatever it is, to shine the light the brightest on ourselves and others. Find the discipline to continue to walk in that. Know that you and believe that you are worthy of all that comes with it. And then share that with other people. Goodness gracious. Imagine the world that we would have if we all did that. Right? I started out talking about fatherhood. I'm a kind of parlay this into an excellent spotlight. And on Father's Day, for any of my fathers, watching or you don't even have to be a father, honestly. Parents in general, people that have fathers, you like. I watched the thing that Kirk Franklin put together. He's calling it the Den of Kings. He's doing multiple episodes with it. But he did the first one for Father's Day. He got some really strong Black fathers together from all walks of life, and they talked about what excellence looked like to them, what motivates them, right? How they stay disciplined and showing up for their families, for their children, right? Kirk Franklin has been high profile for some of his parental things, issues, situations with his children. He's also been very public about his relationship with his own dad and his mom, for that matter. But that's part of what motivates him. But building that discipline and having that desire to want different or want better, that's what drives you. That's the engine that lies on the inside. And then being able to use the platform of Kirk Franklin to share that excellence, that is impactful. That is inspirational, right? Sure, you might you might turn an ignition and motivate somebody to do better and be better. But then they have to find that discipline for themselves to take that engine wherever they want to go themselves. I'm just using this as an opportunity to drive home for you, drive home for you to build that discipline. And whatever it is that you want to do, want to be, you have to be disciplined. When you fall down, because you will, something will get thrown in your way. Get back up. Get back up. Get back up. You fell down, you fell down, you bumped your knee, dust it off, get some ice, get back up. Right? Donald Trump got elected. Okay, cool. That's a really heavy topic. A lot of people impacted in a lot of different ways. But get back up. Get back up. He don't have that type of power to push you down and keep you get back up. Get back up. Keep moving. Keep walking. When you're healthy enough to run, run. Get back up. Get back up. I'm gonna leave you with this one thing. It's been kind of a theme in this house, trying to train Savannah. I guess I'll, use parental example, but I've been trying to train Savannah to understand that sometimes you have to do things when you don't really want to do them, right? Sometimes you have to do things when you don't really want to do them, When we ask Savannah, it could be as simple as brushing her teeth. She's throwing a fit. Like, Daddy, I don't want to brush my teeth. I'm like, all right, that's your choice. Teeth fall out, you got cavities, that's on you. But these are things that you have to do. I don't want to sit and do some work. I want to play all day. She wants to wake up and play all day. And what she's going to realize, 3, 4, 5 years from now is that she's not going to get very far playing all day. But I'm trying to get her to understand now, like, you got to do things sometimes to get to really where you want to go. You might have to do some things that you don't really want to do to be able to do the things that you do want to do. Okay. To maintain discipline, you're going to have to do things over and over and over again when you don't feel like it. And what I'm saying here today is not monumental. These aren't groundbreaking ideas or things that I'm talking about. It's just life. It's just how it works. How it works. I've told people in the past, like, in terms of working out, I'm like, the workout program, the regimen is one thing. You want to find something that works for you, but no matter what you do, you better be consistent with it. You better have some discipline and you will see results. Hopefully it's healthy for you and it's healthy results, but be consistent and you will see results. Period. If you're shifting gears in your life, right? You're changing career direction, just looking to find something new for yourself. Okay, that's cool. You have the motivation now to go out and get that certification, or go apply for a new job. Make it happen. But once you get there, put your seatbelt on and drive, and keep driving. Have some discipline in that to be able to go where you really want to get to. Now, I've talked a lot about being disciplined, and I want to give at least a couple of things just to put in your mind in terms of how you retrain yourself to act out of discipline, right? Because some of us might not be naturally geared to being and showing up and having that discipline. And so it really is a muscle that we have to train. And ultimately, we build those habits that we actually can live out and continue to be able to build upon and go forward with. Setting the foundation of these habits, the foundation of excellence, and then being able to build on top of that. But as we build that muscle for discipline, it starts with, I think, very small things that we know we can accomplish, right? Like, if you want to get into the habit of walking every day, I just want to get up and walk around my block every morning, 2 times around the block, once a day. Make that a habit. Once you're able to do that, then you can stack a new habit on top of that. Okay. To go along with me walking around the block, I want to make sure I eat breakfast and have it, be nutritious. Okay. I'm going to come inside and I'm going to have me some yogurt. Walk around the block twice a day, come in and have some yogurt. Walk around the block twice a day, come in and have some yogurt. You do that for 2 weeks or whatever. Okay. Now I'm ready for the next thing. And that builds discipline. That becomes who you are, right? I fasted at the beginning of this year. And honestly, like, I fast and it's kind of hard at first, right? You're breaking your diet up, trying new things, or, whatever. And I did that. And you do start to feel the effects of it. But I was also kind of afraid to break the fast and to open myself up to the rest of the world or things that I might be accustomed to, because I know the person that I am and the person that I can fall back into, especially if it's not somebody that I really want to be. And a lot of times it's the case. But at the same time, like, that starts to become who you are because you're building new habits. And so as you're building this habit of discipline, understand that starts to build your identity. So in terms of motivation, understanding that your discipline is tied to your identity, that can be part of your motivation. Like, oh, I'm doing these things now. Like, I'm an athlete. I am healthy, right? You can start to tell these things about yourself, recycle these thoughts in your head, and that helps to support the discipline that you're really working towards. And once excellence becomes a habit, Boy, as my JV coach said way back in the day, you be dangerous. Man, don't let excellence become a habit up in here. Excellence become a habit? Oh man, y'all better watch out because I'm taking off. And so are you, right? Let excellence become a habit. Understand that discipline is power, and that power yields excellence. Excellence becomes a habit. Man, I'm telling you. It's only a matter of time before you end up where you really want to be and beyond. Other people see it and are inspired by what you're doing and how you're walking, right? Making these choices to choose to live better for yourself. That's discipline and that's power. But yeah, small shifts to be able to set the framework, set the groundwork, and build on top of that. Build on top of that. They're not gonna know what to do with you. I'm telling you, man. Something about picking up this microphone. I'm telling you, this junk got power in it. My God. Well, I don't get me wrong. I fully understand that I sat here and I said the same thing over and over again for probably 10 minutes straight. But I need you to hear what I'm saying and hopefully feel what I'm saying and where I'm coming from with it. And understand that I'm saying this and I'm doing this because I want to see you win. My role, my goal here is to highlight and shine a light on excellence. My own excellence, yours, excellence in our communities. And I just want to see people win. That's it. That's it. We got to be disciplined to do it. All right. Until next time, peace, love, enjoy. I'll let you.